Thank you, Tracy, for having me. Thank you, thank you for Northfield Dims for having me. I was a little caught off guard because I usually Valencia, I'm last. I'm the cleanup. I'm the last. Like, if you're still here, thank you. Thank you, Tracy, for allowing me to I have a sitter issue. My husband's traveling. Anyone who's a working mom in this room knows logistics when your partner's traveling and you have to figure out childcare every single night you're out. So kudos to the working moms. So a little bit just about me and my why, and I'll talk a little bit about the vision of Secretary of State. So I am Anna Valencia, City Clerk of Chicago, the second woman and second Latina to ever hold that position since 1837. Yes, you have that. But before I became City Clerk of Chicago, I actually grew up in Southern Illinois, in Granite City. So yes, you don't know where Granite City is. So my parents still live there. I was born and raised. My dad is a union painter. He's painted for 37 years, striping our streets. He retires in 8 months. My mom has worked in a nonprofit for over 20 years, making just $25,000 a year until she lost her job at age 60 due to the Rauner budget crisis. But through their hard work and sacrifices and a teacher who saw something in me, they helped me get to college. I was first in my family to graduate college at the University of Illinois. I tell this story because this is my why, and why I chose public service. When we start out in life, we don't start at the same starting point, but it's government and the opportunities and doors it's opened for my family and I that has allowed me to be at a different finishing point. Government can be and is that great equalizer. So when I became city clerk, it was 2016, two things happened for me. Hillary Clinton lost, which was devastating for a lot of people in this room. Susana Mendoza won statewide, who was the city clerk. It was then where I had actually worked for years and behind the scenes managing Senator Durbin's campaign in 2014 and working in Springfield that I decided to step out behind the scenes, raise my hand, and hold public office. It was time for women to get involved and take action and stand up to that tyrant for the next 4 years. And so I was sworn in 5 days after Donald Trump, and we got to work. We created the first ever municipal ID card, the City Key. It's the first ever government ID, library card, transit card, prescription discount card, business discount card, and it's free. Before the pandemic, we were printing them out of Cook County jails with the women population so that when they left, they had a dignity of identification and were able to start getting city services. During the pandemic last summer and this summer, we were printing them in homeless shelters pop-ups so that people could use them to get temporary housing. It's also the first identification card in the state of Illinois to allow you to self-identify your gender. Being able to have a 15-year-old walk into my office and choose non-binary and leaving with a card that says they are. We also stood up for fines and fees reform in the city of Chicago and worked with our General Assembly to pass a law that no longer suspends driver's license for non-moving violations, giving 55,000 residents in Chicago back their driver's license and their ability to get to work. Overhauling all the city council technology, where you'll actually be able to see city council members voting online, voting on boards like they do in Springfield. You'll actually be able to search. It's going to be a whole modernization project that we are doing next year and going completely paperless. So why I tell you this, what I've done and what we have done in the last 4 years, is because this is exactly what I want to take. Bold, innovative ideas, implementing them, knowing how to project manage and lead on scarce budgets to the Secretary of State's office. So we are running on equity, access, and innovation. Equity has to be the lens that everything is looked through. From who's at the table implementing the policies to creating them has to reflect the diversity of Illinois. Second, in terms of access, we're talking a lot about voting access and rights to the ballot. We are the beacon of hope in the Midwest. Look around us. The red states are trying to take us back in time, and we have to move forward on access to the ballot. So day one, we are creating the Illinois Voting Access Commission that brings county clerks, Illinois Board of Elections, General Assembly members, community-based organizations, students, all to the table, breaking down the silos to talk about doubling down on vote by mail, automatic voter registration fully implemented, and creating a paid youth jobs program called the Civics Corps to allow our high school, GED students, college students, the ability to have a paid internship looking at being civically engaged and know how to register voters. Because this is so important. Depending on what zip code you're in or who your parents are, you can't afford to take an unpaid internship. And it was myself included in that list of our young people. And that blocks opportunities into public service or even knowing that you belong or there's a pathway for you. So we need to make sure that we have these programs for our young people. Access at the DMV. I know the lines are long right now. I hear that a lot. But we've seen that the pandemic has actually shown us the gaps in technology infrastructure we have in government. My office also went through this, and although Secretary White has done a fabulous job modernizing the office, we have to take it to new heights. A lot of people say you have big shoes to fill. I say let's fill them with high heels. A mobile app so you can upload documents, take your vision test online, pay online, use an e-signature so you don't have to step into a DMV if you don't need to, clearing the way for people who actually need to get in there. But we also know that there's a digital divide, and we need to make sure that we're not leaving people behind. So we should offer pop-up shops in different regions where not only we're bringing Secretary of State services, but we're bringing local county and mayors and city services with us, offering Saturday hours and evening hours and meeting people and community, which I've already done at the Mobile City Hall in Chicago. And then lastly, my favorite thing, the library system. Who loves their libraries? I grew up in Granite City Library. If there was a free program, my mom found it. And that was my place to explore the world outside of my little hub. But we also know that our libraries are not equitable. A lot of times they're based on property taxes. And so we want to create a robust capital grants and technology grants to allow our libraries to expand broadband access. Because we know our libraries were a place that families could go to during the pandemic. We heard from families in McLean County and the rural communities that even though their library was closed, people would pull into their parking lot to use their broadband to download their kids' e-learning materials. We want to make sure there's maker labs and digital labs in every single library in the state so that every family has an opportunity to plug into the digital world. So this is my why. This is why I'm stepping up, because it is time for women, moms, Latinas to be in executive office, and with your support we will make history to be that mom, to be that Latina, to be that woman breaking barriers, and for my little girl to see what is possible. So, are you with me? Because I heard the governor